Hello everyone, this is Tom, your host for the Hidden Truths channel. Today we're going to do a video on the Minnesota Vikings and their cheerleading squad, which has definitely changed since the last time I went to a Vikings game. Yes, I'm making a video about this because I was a Minnesota Vikings fan when I watched the NFL. Grew up in Minnesota, watched Fran Tarkenton, Chuck Foreman, Jim Marshall, Alan Page, Ahmad Rashad, Fran Tarkenton just running all over the place, crazy. Okay, I grew up watching that, and I'm a diehard Minnesota fan. Couldn't wait for the Minnesota to win the Super Bowl. That still hasn't happened, and that '98 season was hard to get over. I mean, that was Randy Moss's rookie year. We had Cunningham from who used to be the Houston Oilers, Chris Carter, Robert Smith. Yeah, we should have went to the Super Bowl that year, but that was a hard game, it took me months to go. But anyway, that's the Minnesota Vikings, and they've had their plenty of controversy in Minnesota with the party boat and Randy Moss and the meter maid and Ortiz, I think, was the running back's name with his Wizinator thing. And, Mike Tyson didn't do any good for the team. But anyway, now we're dealing with cheerleaders. Doesn't the NFL realize that men, testosterone-filled men, alpha women, and kids that just love to see a beatdown, go to sit their football games and watch grown men, healthy grown men, run a pigskin up and down the field and beat the shit out of each other? Using a little bit of chess, mentality in between it. And then, they like to look at the cheerleaders. But now I found out that the NFL has 12 guys as cheerleaders. And not the guys that, in college that are guy cheerleaders, that hold up the pyramid and stuff, used for their strength, throw the women way up in the air and stuff. No, we're not talking these. We're talking guys that are just one of the girls. I guess North Carolina has a pure transgender cheerleader. I hope the Dallas Cowboys never go to that. That would be a sad state. The women that become NFL cheerleaders strive to do this. That's one of their goals in life, is to become an NFL cheerleader. And then they make it, and they gotta be overshadowed by guys that want to be women that have mental illness. I mean, is there anything a woman can do besides have a baby that they're not going to have to compete with men to do? I'm telling you, women, I'd surround you cheerleaders. I'd surround him and black and blue his ass. Okay? The thing is, these transgender guys, want to be transgenders, are breaking all sorts of sexual laws, exposing themselves, all this stuff. Anything that all you gotta do is say, I'm transgender, you can start exposing yourself to women and get away with it. That's Minnesota. They have Tim Malton in charge. This is another reason why I got the hell out of Minnesota in 2022. Had to get out of there. Couldn't deal with it no more. And now I'm glad I'm not there. I did watch the Minnesota Vikings in the 2022 season. But, this is ridiculous. I mean, go woke. I mean, and then the national anthems, okay, in the NFL. Yeah, you have I stopped watching with the kneeling shit. Yes, I got back into it for 1 year. The kneeling shit. And then we have the black and the white national anthems. Okay, so I guess the black national anthems covers all the blacks, and then the blacks, and then the white national anthem, if you want to call it that, I'd say American national anthem, covers all the rest of the races and colors that are playing football, right? Remember, the people that are in charge of these football teams are supposed to be very smart people. It seems like the more money you got, the more your brain becomes decayed. And now we got season ticket holders in Minnesota had enough. I hope Minnesota plans on having a good team. See, the thing in Minnesota, they can't televise a game unless the stadium's sold out. Well, guess what? There ain't going to be, and I remember years like that in Minnesota when we sucked so bad in the 80s where they didn't sell out the stadium and we didn't get to watch football on TV. What do you think it's going to be like now? They don't care. They're going to try to cram this stuff down our throat. Even in Manly, you had the NASCAR. They've gone completely bonkers because somebody saw that you use a rope to pull a door. Or, you know, this is the thing, that rope. Anybody seen his big shop garage door? It's big. It's got a rope attached to it. So you can pull it the fuck down. One thing can't reach it. Not a normal garage door where you can just reach up and grab it. These fucking doors are somewhere 16 feet up in the air. But just, I can't remember what his name was. All it takes is one guy to sit there and see something wrong, overreact to something, and everybody gets punished for it. But anyway, now the Minnesota Vikings will be punished. And whoever allowed this shit needs to be fired. Because they're bringing their personal and their political beliefs into the job area. And the Minnesota Vikings is just like any other job, okay? They show up for work. They got their own work environment that's being interrupted by this shit. Anyway, don't worry. Merchandise is going to go down. Minnesota Vikings are going to, what it feels like, to absolutely be stupid. This is what the NFL has turned into. Imagine if the gladiators in the Coliseum, they would decide that they needed transgenders in there instead of real men killing each other. I wonder how much the stands in the Coliseum would have been filled. I don't know. Just a question. I think I know the answer. Even the Romans. See, the thing is, okay, government, you're trying to feed us bread and circus, right? Well, men cheerleaders that want to be women isn't the bread and circus we want to see. Anyway, that's all Tom has for this video. This is Tom with Hidden Truths. Everybody have a great day.